Welcome to the final whistle, everybody. I'm Matt Caddell. I don't know where Chris James is. We go through this every Tuesday, but the one and only Justin Riley, the Bama Standard. You know how he is. He's always here, ready to lead and guide us and keep us everything. Just keep us sane on this show. So, Justin, how you doing, brother?
I'm actually doing it for the crazy check. I get a write off for dealing
Okay.
with Chris James and his multiple personalities.
Speaking of Chris James, have you talked to him? He's always running late, or we don't know what he's got up to him. I haven't seen him. I haven't heard from him. I mean,
Matt, I think we're going to have to start, going to our temp service to bring in somebody who's going to be here on a more regular basis, or at least on time, and not so much crazy. But we love the guy, and
we love him.
At Alabama, though, when we were there together, I don't recall the multiple personalities, but maybe this is something that kind of manifested over those years of many hits to the head. I mean, you got to be a crazy son of a gun to be on a pump block team and being gunner.
Go out there and block punts, and Chris was the main man at that for sure.
Wait, we got some rumble in the back. Wait, hold on one second.
What I'm saying? Right, baby. We top 5. We in the top 5. Snapchat was having it. Oh, what's happening, Phil?
Oh my God.
What's happening? It's prime time, Chris in the house, baby.
Prime time. You like
prime time, baby. Hey, we top 5, baby. We prime time now, bro.
Every time Bama basketball does their thing and does it in the way they're doing it, I know come Tuesday, it's going to be on with Chris.
It's on like popcorn, baby.
Uncle Chris.
Hey, it ain't football season no more, baby. So I'm in my basketball mood. You know what I'm saying? You see the Trey Young shirt. You know what I'm saying? It ain't about the house. It's just the fact I'm in the basketball mood. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate the effort. You got the basketball theme. Yeah, basketball theme right there. But here's the problem I have with that. The guy on your shirt played at Oklahoma.
Ooh. Oh, no, I'll just let them know what's coming Saturday. Because don't we go to Oklahoma Saturday?
It don't matter. You're wearing a shirt of a guy that played at Oklahoma.
But you see it ties into the crimson and red a little bit. It's a different little type.
It ties into nothing. It says a boomer sooner, and we can't be boomering no sooner right now, sir. We're at war.
Who you know wore 11 at Bama, man?
It don't matter.
I know what he's trying to do. He's trying to get Brandon Miller to the Atlanta Hawks. That's all he's trying to do.
Yeah, that's all, baby.
That's all he's trying to forget that.
Hey, who wore 11 at Bama?
Lemansky Hall.
It's a receiver.
Man, you went old school, man.
It's a tribute to the one and only Matt Caddell, baby, the only 11 I know.
Shouts out to 1-1.
Well, first of all, I got to take notice right there and give you props, Matt. You went old school right there, naming Lemansky Hall.
Lemansky Hall, yeah.
Wow, these young bucks don't know much about Lemansky Hall.
No, man,
they got to tune into the Bama Standard, the final whistle. That's what they'll learn about Lemansky Hall.
We give them a history lesson on the site, baby.
Lemansky was that dude on that 92 defense. He was the unsung hero, and 93, he really erupted, and a lot of people don't realize how long he was actually in the league.
Yeah,
he was there for a good minute.
Yeah, who's been, speaking of in the league, Kareem Jackson's been in the league for forever. It seems like,
man, Kareem. Man, I told you.
Did you tell the GMs about how you used to burn him in practice?
But Kareem always had the talent. You knew it was there.
Yeah. It definitely stood out, especially during that time.
AKA Coco, that's the nickname. We call him Coco. He a Georgia boy. We call Kareem Coco. That's his nickname. But
this segment is sponsored by the makers of Black and Mild. All right, listen, Uncle Crunk Chris. It goes without saying why you're excited. We all know why we're excited. Let's talk about Saturday. Let's backtrack a little bit. Yes, folks. First of all, thank you to the chat for being with us tonight. I want to encourage everybody, go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We need to know you love us. If you're watching the replay, get in the comment section. Let us know how you feel. This show is brought to you by Workspace Solutions and Oakmont Financial Partners. Now, let's talk about some Tide hoops. Let's go back to Tuesday. And thank you, chat. Where I was going with that is you're with us while Bama's playing basketball right now up in Nashville. Let me go ahead and give a score update. Bama's up 31-22, 3:47 left to play in the first half. Always a tough place to play, Vandy. There's a curse, and hopefully we break that curse, and much like we did against LSU. Guys, 40 points. The game was never close Saturday. Let's talk about it. This isn't the Tide of old. Well, this isn't the Tide that we're used to, right? I mean, we did some good things back when we were in school. You know, when Erwin Dudley, Rod Grizzard, our boy Kennedy Winston, Antoine Petway, and all those guys were there. And we did some good things, got to Elite Eight. You know, we were in the Sweet 16. We made ourselves known under Mark Gottfried. This has a different kind of feel to it.
You remember 2 years ago when we went down to Auburn and we set their record with 3-pointers?
Yeah.
That type of performance, that's like the type of performance we seem to be getting, not as far as the threes, but how we just scored so much offensively. It's like we're an offensive machine now, man. And we're scoring 80, 90 points a game. While just, 5 years ago, we were known as a defensive school. We couldn't
65 points.
65. We hit 65. We were gonna win an ugly one, man. Under Anthony Grant. We didn't run sets. It was crazy, man. And how we just transitioned from a defensive school to such a high-powered, one of the best, offenses in college. And we're a two-way team. We're just not offensive. We play defense too.
That's a huge point. And you actually kind of stole my thunder, is that we literally went from one extreme to the other as we continue to grow under the Nate Oates tutelage. We went from being known primarily to defense, and then we tried to live and die by the three. For a while, it worked, but when we were off, and it was pretty much done. But now there's balance in the force, right? We can play on the defensive side of the ball. We can make people regret ever stepping on the court when they have the ball, and then we take it from them. We take their will from them and go down to the other side, and we're putting it down, man. We are scorching the nets from beyond the arc, but we're also very tough in the inside game.
I agree, and I just love the way this team, the LSU game was really good, but I was impressed going on. I love road SEC wins. That to me, that's where you really, make your money. And this team just unselfish. They're tough. They're disciplined. They push each other. They hold each other accountable. Those type of things really stand out. They got great leadership. Even when Brandon Miller is off, you look at the Arkansas game, he was struggling, but he came second half and he was like, listen, I'm still a lottery pick.
Yes, he did a lot for himself in terms of money in that second half by overcoming, the struggles he was having. And my Lord, if you poke the bear, which Arkansas did often in that game, the Grizzly is going to massacre its poker, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And speaking of Brandon Miller, can we just rename the SEC Freshman Player of the Week award just the Brandon Miller Award? He's won it 65 times?
Man, it's crazy, but when you're watching this team, man, you're looking when we're on defense, the other team is scrambling for a shot, man. Shot clock violations, blocked shots. No second chance opportunities. We're rebounding. They're like come down one and done, and they're struggling to get a shot off. Then we come down, open three, boom, or a drive to the. It's like looking at one end. It's like watching, just a defensive masterpiece, and then you come down on the other end, and it's the Brandon Miller show, or the Mark Sears show, or the or the Clowney, Noah Clowney show, or it's a thing of beauty, man. Like
It was really cool.
And we kicking that butt.
Sorry, Chris.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, it was really cool to watch in the LSU game. I felt like we were watching Oprah Winfrey. You get a 3, you get a 3, everybody gets a 3. Shoot, even the bench guys were coming on the court. Boom!
Cottrell hit a bomb, man.
But yeah, it's a matter of pride with these guys. You know, pride was absent this past year. A lot of selfishness last year. Now it's like, okay, if like you said, if Miller's struggling, the other guy's like, okay, I got you, bro. And then you got Sears to pick up the slack. You got Bediako pick up the slack. He gets my award for the most improved player, easy. But it is a team effort. Clowney can come alive. And then Quinterly. Just don't forget about Quinterly, the best 6-man, not only in the SEC, but in the country. And he's definitely making some money this year. He's healthy, right?
But think about it, man. Wait till Welch gets the game shape. And then when Burnett comes back next week, oh, my God. It's about to get ugly. And the thing about it, somebody stated a fact. They put a stat up, and they were talking about how we're so dangerous in a dribble drive penetration kick out to the corner. And it's like, I forgot, it's like Griffin is the guy right now that they have out there, and he's not a corner guy. You know, most of his threes come from top of the key or you know, or a little bit, but from the corners, he's just not an efficient shooter. But I heard something like Burnett leads the nation in 3-point percentage from the corner or something like that. It's something ridiculous. So he comes back, and he's going to replace that inefficiency we're getting from those corner threes that we kick out. He's going to be knocking them down, and that's another element you got to deal with. And once Welsh gets hot and his legs back, it's going to be, man, and we're legit running 11 deep.
Matt, what was that mantra that Coach Saban used when you were there when he first arrived on the scene and continued to hold true for his whole career? Make their ass quit, right?
Make them quit.
And then Nate Oates even made reference to that here recently, you know, kind of in a joking manner. But the fact is, I don't think he was joking, because that's exactly what Alabama is doing. Not only are they knocking down the 3, beating them up on the inside, swatting away balls on defense, making life living hell, but I feel like from the mental aspect, that's where they're winning the games. They're breaking down their opponents mentally to where they're already beat.
And they setting them up, you know. I mean, I'm looking at this basketball program, and I'm like, I think it's motivating Coach Saban to make sure he has a good D coordinator and a good offensive coach, because Nate Oates' staff is on a roll. I mean, they take advantage of any little scheme. They're prepared. They know how to execute. They know how to make halftime adjustments. They know how to keep the foot on the gas. I mean, those are all the things we're looking for our football program when it comes to our coordinators. So, you know, you mentioned Coach Saban, Coach Oates. I think we need. I think those guys are having conversation. I think Coach Saban's internalizing a lot of things. I think he's looking at Coach Oates and seeing the impact that he has on his style. And I'm quite sure they're having conversations on things how he can affect, you know, kind of get new blood into his program and get back to being dominant. So
PJ Steins has given a vote for Nate Oates as our new offensive coordinator.
you know, another crazy stat. I think we're like leading the country in rebounding. That's ridiculous, man.
Bediako in that weight room, son.
Offensive position and defensive, and we're leading the country in rebounding, and we're long 6'7" 6'10", 6'9" in the front. We have an NBA size front court.
Yeah. Score update, guys. Alabama's up 36-25, 54 seconds left to play. Brandon Miller is leading all scorers with 12 points. So let's go ahead and move on, you know, to the long term. How far can this team go? Yes, we're on fire right now. We're putting up a clinic. We're doing things that we've never seen before. But just how far down the NCAA tournament rabbit hole can this team get?
Well, I do think we're going to win the regular season. I think we're going to win the SEC tournament. I do think we're going to get a 1 seed. I think it's going to be us, Kansas, UConn, and I don't know who 14, maybe a Tennessee. I don't know. I'll let Chris. Chris kind of knows the broader, but I think we can run our region. Have a hiccup. A really challenging games because it's March Madness, but I do think see us going in the Final Four. I got us going to national championship playing Kansas in the Natty. So that's as far as I got them going.
Kansas is a resilient team, and the thing about Kansas is, like you think you have them, but they're never like right now. K-State was leading the whole game. They're on the road at K-State, and they just tied it, sent it to overtime. You know what I'm saying? They're like, this Kansas for you, man. That's the Jayhawks, man. Like the fourth, fifth straight close game they're playing, and that helps in March. But the thing about Kansas, that's in our favor if we were to match up. Kansas isn't a big team at all. They're 6'8", 6'8", 6'8" in the front. They're not big at all, and they're not physical. They're a finesse team, and that bodes well to us. Like Kansas will absolutely have to shoot the lights out the ball to if we met up in order to win, because they're not going to out-rebound us. They're not going to out-physical. So we're a bad matchup for them. But I think if they're on the opposite side, I think they can make a Final Four run. I have Houston right there.
Who are your 4 1 seeds right now? That's what I want to know.
Well, right now, Alabama, Houston, Kansas, and Purdue. But I don't think Purdue will finish as a 1 seed because I think Purdue's fool's gold like every year. I think a team like Gonzaga could sneak back on that one line because they're playing really well right now. You have Gonzaga. You have out west. You have UCLA playing really well right now. UCLA could be a 1 seed. They're a team that can go to the Final Four. There aren't any ACC teams because Duke is struggling bad. ACC is just a mess right now. Clemson's playing well, but they're nowhere near top 5 to 10 team. The Big 12, you have TCU that's right there. Mm-hmm. They can make some noise. You have Iowa State that can make some noise. It's the Big 12 may be the best conference right now because the SEC is because of Kentucky, like how they falling off. They're you have to give the edge to the Big 12 as the best conference right now.
I wouldn't say Kentucky necessarily has fallen off. Yeah, they might be struggling, but Kentucky always seems to find that Kentucky button where they transform into what we know, especially when it comes into the later part of the season, definitely tournament time. They just know how to turn it on at the right time.
This year feels different because they don't have that guy, that top 5 draft pick that they can depend on that's going to, like, 9 times out of 10, most years we play Kentucky, they have more talent than us. This year, we're a better team than Kentucky from top to bottom.
Yeah, Jim McEwen has a comment. Closing out games is an adventure for this group. If we play smarter last 3 minutes of games, we could be in the Final Four. I also want to add to that, we still got to clean up turnovers. That's still a big thing, and against the more elite of teams, that could be an issue for us.
And we got to hit free throws. I think we got to be a little bit more efficient on the free throw line. So it's a lot of room for improvement. I know we're rolling, but turnovers, free throws. What else did you say, Justin? Closing out games.
Yeah.
We got a lot.
We got to nitpick to find something. You know what I'm saying?
We really have to, and that's what's amazing about this group. We're really having to dig to find the flaws. By no means are we perfect, but it feels like it to me. I mentioned this to you guys in our group chat that now when we step on the court, we've already won. I've never had that feeling when it came to basketball, and I don't want to get ahead of myself. I don't want to be, a little overzealous, but right now it feels that way.
Yeah, I'm a basketball guy, and I'm sorry, Matt. Go ahead.
No, I said I agree. What were you gonna say, Chris?
I'm a basketball guy, and usually it's like I watch a lot of college basketball, and I'm a big Boston Celtics fan, and just watching like championship teams of the past, it seems like this team right here has the making of I think that this team right here is better than that championship team Kansas had last year. I think it's better than the Final 14 Auburn had a few years ago. And
question, Chris,
than the Virginia team that won a championship.
What former NCAA championship team do you compare this team to?
This team right here?
Yeah.
I don't know, man, because I can honestly say I haven't seen a team that's gone 11 deep, man. Can you name another team that's ever been 11 deep on the college level? Like 11 legit, not just bodies. I mean, 11 legit players that can impact the game in some way.
It has to be a Coach K coached team, right?
It's not even because Kentucky, because you all got to understand, Cal's team, he always runs a short bench in March. He doesn't rotate 10, 11 guys. Cal find those 7, 8 guys, and that's what he goes with. And you really can't find a college team, man. Maybe
I'm gonna give you mine. Can I give you mine? I'm gonna go.
Yeah, what's yours?
I'm gonna go. It's not like you say. I can't compare 11 deep to this team, but I was thinking about, man, who's the freshman that came in and was just that guy and was that number 1 pick, and it just took me back. Syracuse,
Carmelo
Anthony, freshman year.
I was about to say that.
But Brandon Miller. I mean, these guys, I can literally see.
But
Miller having kind of like a mellow Syracuse type impact, win the Natty, goes to the NBA, you know.
But you know what though? That Syracuse team don't have nothing on this team. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
Don't have nothing. Like, that Syracuse team was good because Carmelo put that team on his back. Him, Hakeem Ward, McNamara.
McNamara. Oh my God.
But we have 3-point guards, man. Think about it. What other college team you know? It's hard pressed to find an NBA team with 3 legit point guards.
I don't know. Maybe somebody said the UNLV squad of the 90s.
With Larry Johnson, Plastic Man, and all that. This kind of reminds me of that one of those going back to the Bama team when we won the SEC. Was there with Robert Horry them?
Robert Horry, Latrell Sprewell, James Hollywood Robinson.
Yeah, like one of those type of teams. I would even go back to say one of those Kentucky teams, the best one he had. I compare this one, not saying that it's better, but the team with Anthony Davis, how they just ran through everybody. It got to a point where we was like, oh man, this team right here is legit.
Yeah, I can see that.
The natives are growing restless. They're ready to talk some football before we move into that. Real quick, I just want y'all to let us know, I guess, who is the key player to a Final Four run? Obvious answer, Brandon Miller. I'm going to go with that, but do you guys have a different player? Chris?
I think Burnett, a healthy Burnett.
I think we're going to go with – I think you got to understand the March, it comes down to guard play, and I think it's going to be as far as Bradley takes us.
Like it.
Good points. All right, it's time to switch gears because, you know, Tide fans can't talk about other sports too long or they start break out in hives. At least that's been my experience. But hey, we're about to
tried to make a reference to football earlier. I was trying to get
you did. I appreciate you did. I think that's enough for them to kind of chew on a little bit until it was time to talk football. But hey, listen, Bama football, it might be the off season, but we're busy. We got a lot of things popping right now, and nothing more exciting than, first of all, Marvin Constant getting his wish. Pete Golding is gone, guys. He is headed to Ole Miss.
Thank you for your service. This is your service pay.
Thank you, Lane.
Lane did saving a solid there, man.
Guys, knee-jerk reaction. Are we better off? I know that we've been heavily criticizing. We know how Marvin Constant feels, you know, and of course it's justified. But is this the exit that's going to allow us to reset and go back to playing to the Bama Standard?
Yes, I do. I think we kind of lost our identity the past couple of years under Pete. You know, Pete was a good enough D coordinator, but he had to be complemented by a really good offensive coordinator to really get through some games. You look at him and Sark winning the national championship, but after that, once we didn't have Sark or a strong OC that can really, you know, complementary, you know, offensive play calling, aggressive play calling, it really kind of exposed us having bad play calling with all this talent, and then it really just really exposed Pete not being able to make adjustments. I mean, we didn't have a plan going into Tennessee. Everybody and their mama knew what Tennessee was going to do. And it's like we come out there and like this is the game plan we put forth. And then to me, the LSU game, I mean, it's like Pete never understood what a QB spy was. He was always trying to run the same cover 2 shell, man defense, 2 linebackers. I mean, everything was so predictable. I don't think he knew how to utilize. I don't think he knew how to have creative blitzes. I don't think he was a fiery, energetic, rah-rah guy. And I think that kind of showed to how our defense played. And so I think it's an upgrade for us to, whoever we bring in as the D coordinator, I think it's going to be a big upgrade.
Chris?
Yeah, well, we know it's going to be one of 4 guys. Jeremy Pruitt, Glenn Schumann, Jimmy Lake, or Jim Leonard.
Jimmy Lake, where's he from?
Washington. You remember those Washington secondaries? They used to produce some first-round corners. You'd be like, God, he came from Washington too. And when we played him in the playoffs, all that, that's Jimmy Lake, man.
Oh, wow.
Jimmy Lake is legit.
I want to pose a question to you guys in terms of Pete Golding. Do you feel like that this is something that Pete Golding actually did on his own, or was it a way of Nick Saban forcing him out without firing him? Because let's look at it. Has Saban ever fired a guy? No.
I think
but people have left. I think it's
Saban, both.
I think Saban wants to save face, wants to make the guys look good. So I kind of feel, and Josh Pate even suggested this on his show yesterday, that he set up a deal to where he could walk out, on his own. Well, I wouldn't say his own terms, but in a way that makes him look good, and he is able to start life anew with Ole Miss instead of having to fire him. Do you feel like maybe that is true?
I think so too. I think Saban had something to do with it. Like you said, he gave him an option, but I think he had the option to come back. He's a good recruiter. A lot of people like him, but
the pressure,
I think Pete personally wanted something different. I think he saw Ole Miss as an opportunity. Lane Kiffin, he can kind of go to Ole Miss and kind of have his impact and do his thing. So, I think it was a win-win situation, both for Alabama as well as Pete Golding. So, kudos to Lane Kiffin,
Yeah, I agree. I just think that he kind of saw the writing on the wall. He felt that pressure, man. I mean, he's human. He reads the same thing we read. You know what I'm saying? And he sees people criticizing him. So I think he felt like this now was the time to make that jump. Then he can kind of have his own defense. And at Ole Miss, the standard isn't a top 5 defense like what we're accustomed to at Bama. It's just hold up, and let the offense do their thing, and we just be a top 25 unit. It's gonna be a lot less pressure. Bend, don't break. How Ole Miss always been. I mean, Ole Miss had a land sharp defense years ago with Kondichi them, but that was short lived. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So, and a lot of people that don't really, I guess, understand the X's and O's of it will quickly throw out, well, this is an offensive game now. Things have changed. It's evolved and whatnot. And yes, Alabama did have a top 10 defense, but I want to put something out. I think that's skewed. And I mentioned this in the Bama Standard show tonight, that because against mediocre guys, mid-level offenses, we shut them down, and we played a lot more of the mid-level offenses than the more elite offenses. And here's where I have a problem. I'm going to name a couple of games where we played elite offenses. Tennessee this year, Ole Miss 2020, Florida 2020, LSU 2019, Arkansas 11-21. Those where we played against top-tier offenses. The average total yards allowed in those games, 537 total yards. Average passing yards allowed 389 yards.
Mm-hmm.
I can go on and on. I got peaks, frustration, defenses in my head. Stupid linebacker blitzes that don't work.
0%
success rate. Stupid play secondary. I mean, I can go on and on just how frustrated watching Pete Golden's defense. I mean, we got all this talent and we're still running the same thing. So
yeah. And Matt, let me ask you this: how many times, other than from rushing out the edge, how many interceptions did Will Anderson or Dallas Turner have dropping their coverage?
One.
How many people you use?
One between the two of them.
But let me tell you what the problem was, y'all. I'm going to break it down to you. Being a former officer guy, also, the middle of the field was exposed, man. Like when you run a man coverage, you got to protect the middle of the field, because if you're in a man and once that DB gets beat across his face, it's over with. Matt, to tell you, quick slant, lead, post. Once that DB's beat, the middle of the field is exposed, and then we never put a spot on running quarterbacks. Like why we never put a spot on what's the guy, Daniels or Hooker, guys that can run too. Like that last series against Tennessee said it all, man. That was horrible. We left the middle of the field exposed. They had timeouts. So why are we guarding the sideline when they had timeouts? You're supposed to protect the middle of the field and keep everything in front of you, but we were running too soft. Like when we need to be running manning up and being physical, we were in zone playing how many yards off, giving up everything underneath, and all it was 2 throws for them to get in the field goal range.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of putting pressure on Hooker and making him uncomfortable and making him have to get rid of it, he had time to sit back and pat it, and it made me sick to my stomach to sit back to see how much time he had to get the ball.
You're not giving me just PTSD. You giving me PTSD.
That's a T-shirt right there.
Marvin will love that one.
PTSD. Oh my God,
man!
Marvin will love that one. But yeah,
think of all the lost revenue Marvin's going to have with those Fire Pete shirts he can't unload.
Sell them. I mean,
go ahead, Chris. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you good. Yeah, Marvin will have to find something. He got to send them overseas to the like they do those NBA final shirts.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. But that's what happened, man. Like we were so predictable defensively. We didn't mix it up. We didn't disguise well. You know what I'm saying? What happened to those slot blitzes like we used to run with Javier Arenas? Those and whenever we did blitz, Brian Branch made a play.
That's what you had.
We didn't blitz the corner from the boundary. When did you see Kool-Aid blitz from the boundary?
You got
or Ricks, or when did you see Jordan Battle coming to A gap on the blitz? And or when did you see that robber in the middle of the field sitting there picking off those deep routes and those slant routes?
We're in the same defense, bro.
Same defense that once they got behind the linebacker, the middle of the field wide open, the safety's running out of there. But that's about to change, man, because I'm telling you, Downs ain't having it, bro. Downs gonna start a day one freshman starter, and Caleb Downs is not having it. I'm telling you.
I just think it starts with the leadership of the D coordinator. You know, I like the Armstrong hire. I think
he's gonna have linebackers.
He's the great hire, and I think Saban's, either picking out, do I go with Leonard, do I go with Schumann, or do I go with Pruitt? So I don't know what y'all are hearing. I'm hearing about the Jimmy Lake thing, but I think it's gonna be those 3: Pruitt, Schumann, or Leonard.
I heard Lake has turned us down a couple times before. Lake is a stud, man. He's on that level.
He is, but he's not coming. Jim Leonard, I want to go ahead and cross his name off the list too. Absolutely phenomenal coach. 6 seasons with Wisconsin. He is ranked in the top 10 5 of those 6 years. Very young guy. He went straight from the NFL to college position coach. In 2015 and 16, 2017, he becomes a defensive coordinator, wins the Broyles Award his first year as a defensive coordinator. Phenomenal guy, but here's the problem, though. he has the NFL itch. He wants to coach at the next level. He's already on several teams' short list. The Browns, one of them, want him badly. So
they just
is he a guy you can trust that will be here for at least 3 years? I don't think so. I'm leaning towards if he's here a year, the NFL is going to come up calling, and he's at the door, and we're back at square one. So I kind of feel like as great as he is, I don't feel like he's a fit. And plus, he's a guy that has never coached under Saban. He doesn't know what he wants. In theory, maybe, but it's different from being a guy who's actually been under Saban, like a Schumann and a Jeremy Pruitt.
I think it's Schumann or Pruitt.
Pruitt not going nowhere no time soon. Once he stays, he's gonna probably be like a Will Muschamp. I think he's gonna be at Georgia for a minute. He probably end up cleaning the image back to the right opportunity presents itself.
Well, like Marvin said, right now the worldview of him damaged goods, and we all know though, a couple of years under the Saban coaching rehabilitation program, all of a sudden all sins are clean.
Lane Kiffin,
washed away.
Sarkeesian.
And he's a hot commodity again. But he's a guy who will be there for at least 3, maybe 4 years. And then maybe he's
trying to figure out how he can get Schumann and Pruitt on staff.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing is you're looking at if you don't hire Pruitt right out as defensive coordinator, from what I'm understanding is he's wanting to kind of gradually earn his way back onto the field. So perfect place to put him, safeties. Then let Glenn Schumann run the defense. And here's the other thing about that is, guys, you got to think about this. And we talked about it earlier on the Bama Standard is Schumann is a hot commodity too. He's a guy that is already being talked about as a head coach. He's a couple of years away from that. If we get to the national title next year, we win it, the defense is greatly improved. Don't be surprised if people come a-calling, want him as their head coach. I say 1, maybe 2 years at the most. That happens. Pruitt's on staff.
Elevate Pruitt.
Elevate Pruitt.
I think that's what Saban's trying to do.
But you know what, though? With us hiring another linebacker coach as a position coach, that means that we're going to have to cut somebody off the offensive side of the ball because you only can have 11 on-field coaches. You get what I'm saying? So,
speaking of position coaches, don't mean to interrupt you. I got 2 possible solutions right there. One that you probably have already thought of, another one that you haven't. But when you hear the name, you're going to be like, yeah, definitely. First, Sal Sinceri, obvious choice.
Yeah, I heard he coming back.
Okay. If not Sal Sinceri, we still keep it in the Alabama family. There's a guy out there right now, won 3 national championships for Alabama, knows what Saban wants. He is a dog, and he's a defensive analyst right now for the Texas Longhorns, and that's Nico Johnson.
Yeah. Hey, Vinny Sanseri.
He's a running back coach at
Patriots.
But you know what though? What we could do, man, if we were to do that, go that route with Schumann and Pruitt, we can always take away, get rid of the tight end coach, give the special teams to, like, you remember, Matt, when we first got there, we had our special team coach, but every coach had, somebody might have a kickoff team, somebody might have the kickoff return, somebody might have punt return. But you can split the tight ends up between the O-line and receivers.
Or you can just let T-Rob, him and Coach Saban handle the secondary.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, but what I'm saying is from a number standpoint, if we were to get Pruitt and because basically when we brought Armstrong in, they took up 1 spot. So we really only had 1 defensive spot left. So get both of them, we're going to take some away from the offense. And I say take away the tight end coach and just let the tight ends split time with the receivers and O-linemen.
Well, he's not going to take away. I think he won't. He liked Joe Cox. I think
he likes Joe Cox.
He wants the tight end coach. He wants the tight ends coach.
I love Joe, man. I think Joe can move the quarterbacks.
I think so too. Quarterbacks, tight ends.
Quarterbacks,
tight ends.
Yeah. But I think Joe is. I also think Joe is an underrated could be an underrated offensive coordinator.
He could be the next guy.
A dark horse.
Training.
Right.
I wouldn't be mad with a Joe Cox hire as an offensive coordinator. Because everybody think about it. Everybody was mad when we hired who was that when we hired Matt? And everybody's like, what are you doing? And they came out and when we got Dable. We got everybody we bought in, and then we putting up 40 points a game, and now they're hired off. But everybody questioned Saban's hire, and then it turned his hires. And then when you think about the grand scheme of things, Bill O'Brien wasn't a horrible hire. We averaged 40 points a game, but we were so spoiled by what we had on what Lane Kiffin and what.
But how much of that though was Bill O'Brien, and how much of that was Bryce Young? Let's be real.
Well,
me personally, I think it was Bill. I think
some of it was Bill.
I think Bill.
What? Putting his helmet on.
Bill digressed. I think Bill got egotistical, and I didn't think he consistently evolved as an offensive coordinator. I think he was just already set. I think he was already set in his style of calling plays, and I think he kind of regressed. And then when Bryce got hurt, that may open up a whole can of worms, and then it was animosity between the two. It was just the worst thing that could happen to us, So.
I think Bill called last year much better than this year.
Of course,
because he got hot at the end of the year.
Yeah, but he could because he had the luxury.
Game last year was a masterpiece.
Yeah, but again, he had the luxury of elite wide receivers. He could pretty much do anything. I mean, hell, run all verticals, and it was a sure thing.
We had this. How I knew Bill regrets. We had James Williams, John Mechie, but we didn't have the backfield. So then this year we come back. We got Bryce returning. We have the backfield, but we couldn't get it offensively rolling. So to me, that just shows he constantly regressed as an OC. I mean, he was just lacking. I mean, you look at Munchkin, you look at Georgia, like they have a system. These top offenses have a system that they go to where, 19's about to get the ball. They about to do lap. Like all this little creativity that they have, Bill O'Brien did not, to me,
he didn't
utilize that.
Style.
He didn't have any style, no rhyme or reason.
But how much of our offensive problems would have been solved if he just would have properly used the running backs?
That's what I'm saying. I think he regressed as an OC. I think he's so egotistical. He's like, I know I got these running backs, but I'm going to call these plays regardless because I'm Bill O'Brien. I think he just.
Perfect example. Late in the season, all of a sudden we realize, hey, we got Jace McClellan. He can do some things. He can run over you. He can hit you in your mouth. And wait, he's got finesse? No way. And what happened? Opened everything up.
Yeah, I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. And it's like, think about how many people laughed at Georgia when they hired Todd Monken a few years ago.
Me and Chris used to talk. We used to be like, bruh, we know we're going to be good. But I got to give Munchkin credit. He created a system.
It's Munkin.
Munkin, sorry.
No, it's Munchkin. You're right.
I'm thinking Yellow Brick Road over here. And he's talking to X's and O's.
Munkin is Munchkin. You're right, man.
They got an effective system where, they're going to try to run it, play action, whoop-de-woo. You know what's coming, but.
Let me tell you about Georgia. What made Georgia so good under Munkin? Munkin had the best scripted plays out of any coach I've seen in college football the last few years, other than Sark. Coming out the gate, man, those first three series, Georgia's going to get up on you 17-0, 14. The defense is going to hold, get a 3 and out. They're going to score twice. Now, your back is against the wall. Now you're one-dimensional. If you can hang with Georgia through that storm, because Georgia's going to come out kicking your teeth. If you can hang with Georgia through that initial first quarter storm, you got a chance. Notice Missouri hung with them, Kentucky, games like that. But when Georgia came out hot, it's over with, bro, from the start.
What helped Georgia offensively was Kirby Smart allowing Munkin to be Munkin, whereas in the past he handcuffed all of his coordinators.
Yeah.
Well, Kansas just lost 83-82.
And score update for us, we're up 43-30 with 15:28 to play in the second half.
So win out here, go to Oklahoma and win, baby. We top 3.
I just think to bring it back to football, I just think Coach Saban's just trying to get back to having coordinators that dictate to the other team. You know, I feel like last year, especially, we let Tennessee dictate to us, you know, defensively, offensively. You know, we were so, instead of being the aggressive, taking it to them regardless what they were. You know, I think Saban's trying to bring that type of identity from his coordinators. So, you know, I'm excited to see who the hires are. I think, you know, I think it's going to be a Schumann Pruitt, you know, some type of combination. And I think we're going to have a new OC. So, you know, I don't know who the OC is going to be, but I don't know.
Saban need to get somebody that's going to run the ball because we got the backs, man. That dog on Justice Haynes, man. Oh, my God. Yeah. Richard Young, that Jamarion Miller. I mean, man, we got backs. And then think about this, how good we are, man. Last year, not this class, but the 2022 class, we had the number one running back in the country, Emmanuel Henderson. Guess what he's playing now?
Receiver.
What'd I tell you? The number one running back in the country is at receiver now.
We'll definitely focus on the offensive side of the ball in the coming weeks. But in terms of the defensive side of the ball, I think when making his choice, Coach Saban is looking at a guy that knows exactly what he wants. And Saban, like I have said before, can be the true CEO where he doesn't have to be as hands-on and standing over everybody. Instead, he's just going to have the baton handed to his defensive coordinator and let him run the show.
Coach the corner.
I think that's the most important aspect of his hire, is that allowing Coach Saban to have that role.
Pruitt, man.
I think it's going to be Schumann Pruitt. I don't know how it's going to be. I just think those two names.
I think it's going to be Schumann Pruitt because first off, we don't even know if Pruitt's clear through the NCAA first. We won't know what's clear.
He is. He is. He's hireable.
I heard too. Schumann's been in T-Town, so that I mean,
I heard Saban was in Athens today.
I heard Schumann was in T-Town. I heard
Saban wasn't Justin. Saban was in Athens today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was recruiting Georgia and Texas today. He was in Texas too with Holloman Wiggins.
But that's what I'm saying. But so what was he in Athens for? I don't. You know any prospects in Athens?
You probably wouldn't go by Chick-fil-A, you know.
Absolutely, and he wanted to kick it with Tyler Perry at his big Medea guy, you know, big Medea guy. All right, I pose this question. Hell. I posed this question to my guys on the Bama Standard earlier. In terms of who to choose for the coach, how important also is it to reinstitute the culture? How big is that when making this decision right now?
Man,
that's why I think it's Schumann Pruitt. I mean, all those answers go to Schumann and Pruitt. You know, Schumann's been a Bama guy. He's a Bama grad. His dad played at Bama. These type of guys, him and Pruitt, kind of, to me, it's like they were made to be D coordinators to call it defensive Alabama. They kind of bring that fiery, that tenacity, that culture to say, guys, hey, go in the film room, look up the 92 defense and say, this is what Bama football's defense is like. 4 guys getting to the quarterback, hitting people in the mouth, getting turnovers for 60 minutes. That's what we do. And I think Saban's trying to do that. So I think if you hire Schumann Pruitt, you can get that culture back, along with some, you know, maybe a Nico Johnson, you know, some guys that played. You already got Ha there. Bring in a few more guys like that can really, you know,
Nico
Johnson or Sean Deion Hamilton, he's with the Detroit Lions, or Dante Hightower with the Patriots. I mean, I don't think he's doing anything. So, I mean, these guys should come back to T-Town, you know.
What about your boy Darren Mustin or Justin Woodall?
Anybody.
Woodall is the best trainer.
Woodall the best trainer.
I like Woodall what he's doing, man. He's good. He's good right where he's at, because I think he's satisfied because he's one of the best in the business at training those DBs, man. Shout out my boy Justin Woodall, man.
All in one training.
Doing your thing, man. He's getting those guys ready, man. And this is not just to go to Bama. I mean, this Alabama guys going all over the place, man, which is good. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody want to see kids developing, you know, and live out their dreams. And he's doing a doggone good thing, man. And,
so I got a question to you, Justin Ryan. How you think the D coordinator situation gonna pan out? Then I'll ask Chris.
I already know how it's gonna pan out.
You do?
I can't say it on the air.
What?
No, I'm just playing. I am going to tell you that Jeremy Pruitt will be hired. What capacity? Not know.
Man, let me tell you, man.
He's going to be a position coach. I'm along the same train of thought as you, Matt. Schumann DC, Pruitt safeties coach, and then bringing Sal Sinceri back as linebackers coach.
You know what have I heard?
Yeah, what you heard, Chris?
What you heard?
Right. I heard because really we don't need if we bring Schumann back and then
Mike Singletary. Everybody will transfer that they can handle.
Can't win with them. Is that for the Singletary?
Yeah. Can't win with them.
Great to win the game. No, that was hurt.
To the locker room.
Can't win with them.
Hey, what about Joe Kynes? Let's just bring him back.
Hey, play with your hands on fire. Domingo! Jet red.
Inside trap.
Gotta stop the inside trap. We start the inside trap. We're gonna win this game. Hey, but I'm here. I don't like putting rumors out there, but
yeah,
it's just a thought. If D'Amico gets his head coaching job, who you think one of his first calls may be?
Freddie. I heard Freddie.
His homeboy, Freddie Roach. Our homeboy. We all played together.
And then I heard that's when Bo Davis come in.
I'm hearing, yeah.
Did I spill the beans? Sorry.
Man, let me tell you, man. Georgia fans have David Pollard to thank for this, man.
Oh, yeah, they do. Man. We all saw it on national television.
In front of Saban, he basically challenged Saban. Like oh my God, man. He basically.
I'm actually glad it happened. I mean, my prayers have been answered because it was during the.
You saw that look in Saban's eyes, man. That look on his face. He was like, mother. He couldn't say it.
he was about to go training day.
He was. Next day.
I'm gonna have cases on.
Yeah.
No, you ever seen the
shoe detail?
He would have been Samuel.
Saban's gonna have a comeback year. You know, I don't know if you ever seen the movie Straight Outta Compton when Ice Cube heard that they did a diss track and he was like, "What? They all want to do Benedict Arnold? I need Saban to go in the studio and come out with a comeback, but like no Vaseline. Like I need Saban to go crazy this year, man." And I thank you to David Pollack. I think it was that moment everybody was like,
college football world. We all saw it at the same time.
Everybody was like, well, I mean, it went viral. Bar2, everybody was like, this is the moment. Like Pollack was just like, I
saw. You know what that look I saw? What I immediately thought of? Samuel Jackson in Pulp Fiction. Say what again?
Oh my God! But man, I think Saban's going to get it right, and I think the offensive hire is going to come shortly. I think that's going to be. Yeah. I think Pete's already with the Patriots. They just not saying. I think Robert Kraft has made the call. Belichick's made the call. Bills made the call. I think we're just kind of in a holding period, waiting on this DC stuff to form. I think Saban's already got his OC.
But we're sure. But are we sure that Pruitt might not come back as an analyst first?
That's
what Schumann is the DC, and then T-Rob and Saban coach the secondary. So we won't have to take away a body from the offense. Because personally, you think about it, we bring back Schumann. That's 3 linebacker coaches: Sal, Schumann, and Armstrong.
We need it, sir.
Sal could also coach the D line. Like if Freddie was the move was the
gonna work that stuff out.
But that's what I'm saying. He's gonna have to come in the analyst role. I think it's gonna be Pruitt for that 1 year, for a year, and Schumann gets that job and Pruitt slides, just like it was when Kirby left for Georgia and Pruitt came slid right in.
Yeah, that's what's going to be the setup.
It's going to be Schumann.
I just think they're just working out the details right now. I just think Saban's.
All right. He's going to come as the analyst for a year. I think he's going to get hired on as the analyst.
Before we go into our closing segment, real quick, I want you, Matt, to make the case for Jeremy Pruitt to be the defensive coordinator. Chris, I want you to make the case for Schumann. Matt, you go first.
2 words, Jeremy Pruitt. I mean,
we made the case for it, yeah.
You get a proven guy. I mean, he's a Bama guy, North Alabama, Rainsville, Georgia. I mean, this guy, you would think, like I mentioned earlier, he's a Bama guy. He understands us. He knows the culture. He knows how Coach Saban's defense wants to run. He brings that fire. He gets in the players, He knows how to make adjustments. He's coached at the high school level, so he knows where, man, I might not have all the talent, so he knows how to develop. He knows how to get guys going. He knows how to bring that intensity, that aggression. So I just think he's looking for an opportunity. So that's why I make the case for Jeremy Pruitt.
Chris James. Glenn Schumann. Why is he the guy?
The number 6. Schumann, I'm going to tell you what 6 represents. The number of national championships that Schumann has been a part of between Alabama and Georgia. He came on in 2008 as a student from like 2008 to 12, and I think he was from 12 to 15 when he left with Kirby. He was part of 4 national championships here as a student, assistant, and as on the staff, and he won 2 at Georgia. He's a winner, man. The guy. It was said that he was actually in meetings when he wasn't even a position coach. He was in meetings with Saban and Kirby doing game plan. He was so brilliant and highly thought of that he was actually in their brainstorming
circle. Yeah, in the brainstorming.
Yeah, Schumann with Kirby and Saban, and the guy, man, like the linebacker play. The linebacker play at Georgia is what separates, is what's been different. Then I give the secondary play edge to Bama.
Yeah, secondary edge.
Linebacker in the middle, inside linebacker is Georgia, bar none, not even close.
I say front 7.
It's been Georgia, and Schumann is a big part of that, man. And he's smart, he's young, he's due, and I think he's gonna be the guy to bridge that gap between now and Pruitt, you know what I'm saying? And
then you look at a Schumann as a defensive coordinator, in that news break, how many recruits gonna be like, ooh,
oh, bulldog, friends' faces.
They're gonna be like, man.
Well, y'all took Kirby back, so we just bringing
Schumann back. He's a Bama guy. So
then his wife graduated from Bama. Then his dad played for the Bear. He's a Bama legacy.
That I remember. Yeah, he's a Bama guy.
He's a Bama legacy, man. And he knows what Saban wants.
Folks, hit that like button right now. If you're here with us live, I want the number of likes to reflect how many people are on right now. Also, hit the subscribe button. Those who are watching the replay, in the comment section, tell us who it is that you want to be our defensive coordinator. All right, let's ease on to the closing segments. Quick score update, folks. Alabama in the second half with 10-14 left to play is up 53-39. Miller is doing his thing, 20 points, 8 rebounds, on his way to a double-double. Chris James, what's up next for you? How can folks find you on social media?
Man, they can find me on Facebook at Chris K. James Sr., on Twitter at Coach Chris James. I think on Instagram CKJ32. I think that's it. CKJ Senior 32. My OnlyFans is Daddy Fat Sacks 229.
What's your back page?
Back page is ...
Matt Caddell, that leaves you, sir. What you got coming up next?
Hey, Seymour Good. My name is Seymour Good.
You know me, man.
You're going on. You are going on mute. Matt, tell us about your show, where they can find it, what you got going on, how they can find you on social media. And please leave off your OnlyFans. I get that you got that hustle, that side hustle, but bro, you know, we can't do that. I won't
talk about my OnlyFans.
That profile picture like this with a bow tie suspenders.
Hey, wait 1 second, guys. I gotta bring out something here. Jermaine Baker is watching the show from Okinawa, Japan.
What's up, man? Thank you.
We're international now, guys. This is the first of this show.
We're global, guys. We're global.
And then everybody tell your friends, man. Everybody bring somebody with them next week, man. Let's get this thing popping, man.
Hey, if it gets you in here, who do you want to be a guest next week? Somebody from the era these guys played in. Who do you want to be? Everybody put it in the chat.
Pro throw on this show. Either pro throw or man, let's get Brandon Lewis.
Let's get Brandon Lewis. Let's get Brandon.
And he can give us an insight on the process, how it's supposed to work, and what he's seeing now.
Let's get Brandon next week.
Let's get Brandon. Brandon's a true Saban guy. He's a Julio Jones era Saban guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he can really break it down for us.
But
yeah, you can find me at mcaddell11, but I will be in Buffalo this weekend recruiting this guy to come to Tuscaloosa. So Joe Brady, if you're out there, why be a QB coach when you come coach the Alabama offense, and then you can go be whatever you want after you win this national championship. So I will be recruiting Joe Brady. I'm still holding out hope for you, baby.
We'll definitely attack.
Hey, man, you better pack a sweater and a jacket and a handkerchief and some scarves. Man, you know where past Kentucky, this cold weather is gonna be.
I'm going up there on the hopes of Alabama's offensive paralysis. We need Joe Brady to come back.
It's gonna be a snowstorm. You're gonna see Matt trucking through the snow trying to get to Joe Brady.
Shirt off. I'm gonna go like Bill's Mafia up there. I'm gonna be
gonna have a J.
jumping on tables.
Have a JB. JD.
All right, man. Yes, folks, definitely tune in next week. We will have a guest. I want y'all to hit the like button again. Program note tomorrow night. The developmental focus points with Bo Scarborough, Blake Sims, Christian Jones, and Trent Richardson, 7:30 p.m. Central, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. The guest will be the illustrious Glenn Coffey. So definitely tune in for that. And then Sunday night at 7 p.m. Central, the Bama Standard postgame show with me and Coach Smook. Next Tuesday night, I need a lot of people to listen to me right now. Just forget about offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, all that stuff. We have a very important show on the Bama Standard that's going to be on Touchdown Alabama Magazine's YouTube channel, 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be the tribute to Ahmad Galloway.
Nice.
We're going to have former teammates come on and share stories, share their thoughts. Also, too, the biggest thing we want everybody to understand is here on YouTube, we can take donations. We earn money. We earn revenue for people watching our show. Every bit of money that we earn on that show is going to go directly to Ahmad's family. That's his kids, his family. They're going to see the proceeds. So if you find it in your heart to give, know that it's not going to us. It's not going to TDA. It's going to support them. I want y'all to tell everybody that you know about this show. I don't care what era of Bama you grew up in. Support this. Support Ahmad Galloway. Show your love. We are the most passionate fan base in the country.
Yep.
It's time to show that next Tuesday night. Ahmad was an incredible man. If you're a youngster in the audience, I get you might not know quite who he is. Do your research. But, hey, the Perfect Research is tuning in the show, you're going to learn all about Ahmad, what he did during the era that didn't really quite resemble what it is now. But an amazing guy, and we're going to honor him, celebrate him in the right way.
That's my brother, man. I miss that guy already, man. He's one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet in life.
Yep.
Real quick before we close out, Andreas Huntley, how to donate. Well,
this is my guy. What's up, Dre?
How to donate. We have this thing called Super Chats down in the comment section or on the live. There's a little button, little dollar sign. You click on that and you can donate however much you decide to donate. Again, this will be on the live show next Tuesday night, 6 p.m. Central on Touchdown Alabama Magazine's YouTube channel. If you catch the replay, there is a button on the replay that you can click and donate however much you want. And again, everything goes to Ahmad Galloway's family, not to us. But if anything, come and show support. You don't have to give, but give by giving your time to support Ahmad Galloway.
R.I.P. Ahmad. And Chris, what time you flying out to Thailand to go try to recruit?
Kingsbury.
Kingsbury.
Man, I'll be on the late night because I got all these kids at home, man. So I gotta put them to sleep first, and then I'm on the first thing smoking, man. To Thailand, man.
Hope you see Hangover 3. You got to be a little cautious out there.
This is look who's calling now. Our lead recruiting analyst. Just getting home in the tank.
I hope he's doing. I hope he ask him what's up with Carmine, man.
Hey, I'm gonna eat that.
Oh, I do want to cover this next week. The recruiting rankings, man. It was a lot of controversy.
8 5-stars. We have 8 composite 5-stars now.
But a lot of people were saying, man, they were saying a lot of those rankings, like they said, Caleb Downs should have been the #1 player in the country.
Sure. Between he and Keon Keeley.
Yeah.
Between he and Keon Keeley, they need to those two. Man, those two guys are just unreal.
And we will definitely hit that as one of our main topics next week, along with who will be the offensive coordinator. I'm expecting next week we're going to have some movement. We're going to talk about it. Before we head out, quick score update. Alabama is leading Vanderbilt 56-43, 7:18 left to play in the second half. Miller is leading scores with 20 points and 9 rebounds, 1 rebound away from a double-double. Let's get it. More importantly, let's get out of there with a huge victory. Now we're up 58-43. So this finished it out right. Well, that's going to do it for all of us. Y'all have a great night. And hey, chat, thank you for doing what you do and being a part of this awesome show. Tune in next week as we see what personality Chris will show up as.
Hey,
love to see it.
You might see me in some suspenders and a bow tie, man. It might come out my OnlyFans gear, man. We get in top 2.
And don't do your OnlyFans gear. Don't put the oil out.
No. That'll do for us, guys. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.